So I'm pretty sure everyone has either been on a dating website, I know a lot of you don't want to admit it, or you've known someone. Um, and the causes of that are, pretty dangerous. You don't really know who's online. There's a lot of creeps out there. Or maybe you'll find someone, who knows. But I'm here to talk about why it should either be banned or why it should be protected. So one of the dating websites I want to focus on is a dating website called Tinder. A lot of you might know what it is. It's basically Tinder is a fun way to connect with new and interesting people around you. The way it works, you swipe left to pass on a person, or you swipe right if you like them, or if you want to talk to them. And it also allows people around you. So say you have say you have a friend or like a mutual friend or whatever, and you guys are on Tinder. It allows you to it shares your location, so it's only for users around you. Okay. So the first. Okay, so finding a match like online is pretty like unreal. This could be like a perfect person that you think that you could spend the rest of your life with, but reality, who knows really. A personal experience, I actually had a friend. He was on Tinder for a good amount of months trying to find someone. Call that desperate, I don't know. But he found someone, and she was pretty. She looked like she could be one of the Kardashian sisters, to be honest. And they were talking for a good month or so, and they pretty much put a label on it, like, hey, I'm in a relationship with this person. And so one day, she was like, I have to tell you something. And she pretty much said, like, I would rather meet in person. And so I actually went with him and a couple of other friends to just be kind of like a support system. And it turned out to be a 30-year-old woman with 3 kids. Oh. And it was like, wait, so you're talking to a 16-year-old? Where does that make sense? So usually like any dating websites really are kind of unreliable. Like they're not much of a good way to like meet someone. So 79% of the Tinder users were supposedly matched, and they began to communicate. However, they don't really follow up on the users that use Tinder. So you don't really know if they're really talking. You don't know if someone's getting hurt or anything like that. It's kind of you're kind of putting yourself in a position where like you just don't know. And like I said, a handful of these users are stalkers, rapists, or murderers. In News Daily, a New Zealand woman was being gang raped after she was using Tinder. And like I said, it allows you to put your location in, and for the other users around you, it allows you to let them know, like, hey, someone lives in this area pretty close to you, so hey, let's just match you guys up, and there it is. It's I'm not just talking about just Tinder, but I was reading about it, and I just wanted to put that as an example. But all dating websites should just be banned, I feel, or protected at least. I don't feel like it's reliable. I don't. If you want to meet someone, like go out of your way to meet someone. You know, have that confidence in yourself. It's also for people who swipe left. It's also you're being put in a position where you're judging people. Like, I don't like your picture, or I don't like what it says in your bio, or you know, you're too ugly, like this and that. You know, like a lot of people who are on there are insecure, so they have to use other people's pictures. Yeah.
All right, Adrian, you were going to do this, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I thought your intro was okay. I thought it was pretty standard, but I think it worked really well. You got lost in the section when you were describing Tinder, but it still made sense. I think the story that you told really supported your claim. You know, your friend getting catfished, basically. I thought it was a really good topic that allowed for a good presentation. They gave you room to kind of make a really good argument. The organization was a little bit wonky, but the points were there, so that's fine. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you even knew, but your conclusion was a little, you know, weak, but it was good. It was still fun.
Adrian's found some nice things to say about your speech. I think that you're probably aware that there are a couple of problems here. Let's go with the end. It's like stops in the middle of an idea, and it feels like you've thrown your hands up and go, well, I don't really have anything more, so I'm just going to stop right here. That's a problem. You make this broad generalization about these dating sites, but the only example that we get is Tinder, and that's all that you talk about. I don't know how unique Tinder is. I know that it has a reputation. I mean, even I've heard a little bit about its reputation, that it's mostly a pickup spot for short-term relationships, as opposed to something that is, people are looking for long-term relationships. And so that means that it's going to be a different kind of site than a lot of the other things. But you have no data on any of the other things, no examples, no illustrations. So, there's Match.com and eHarmony and Farmers Only. I mean, and I'm going, so because some pig on Tinder turns out to be a rapist, everybody else's website here is invalid. That's a huge generalization to be making, and I just think that there's not enough information to support your reasoning on those points. The story that you talk about with your friend, I think, is a good example of the catfishing thing that Adrian mentioned. But it's, I don't know how typical that is. I don't know whether or not there's any, does Tinder have any way in which people register, or you just do whatever the heck you want on it? I don't know, because, it's not one of those places that I hang out at. Although apparently, I did hear a statistic the other day that said 2/3 of the men who are on Tinder are married. I mean, I can't cite the source on this. I just heard it in the news within the last week, and I thought that's a little strange. So it may be that you have an aberration here in terms of these things, and maybe your argument should be specifically about that website warning us about it. All right.